What is going on, Twitch chat and YouTube? It's Wednesday night, so we got something special. I did put out a feeler on Twitter to find out what people wanted to see, and as per usual, I used democracy, and nobody asked for this, so I chose it. so, so we're playing some Extus, Orik, Overlord, Orik. I don't know. And we're playing a bit of a, scrubland deck tonight. which only means it features the finest in Magic the Gathering cards. So what I decided to do was what I want to do. I wanted to play this guy. So or gal, maybe. Not really sure. But I wanted to return non-legendary creatures with Magecraft. So, what do we want to return? Oh, we can return some Street Wraith. Not a bad play. And then from there I didn't know what to do. Like, all right, well, maybe if we're gonna play spells, we should play Witch. So then I'm like, all right, that makes sense. And then I didn't know what to do. So as I'm thinking back and forth, boom, Stitcher Supplier. And that's pretty nice. Yeah, we can get a Hogak going. We can get Bloodghasts. Makes us able to play Cabal Therapy, which is a great, spell to trigger Magecraft. Once we were there, I was like, well, we need some more spells to trigger Magecraft. So we got Demonic Tutor, Thoughtseize, Vampiric Tutor, some of the free spells, and then boom, Village Rites. You gotta get some value when you're getting, you got not monks and pests. You can get some value with Village Rites, or maybe even sacrifice the Bloodghast. And then I was looking for a couple more spells, so I decided let's get one Chain of Smog in here, make infinite pests with Witch, and then I looked at my deck and I said, damn, we're gonna die to everything, but especially combo. So then I just threw 4 Archon of Amire in the deck. So then now I think we won't die as hard to combo. And that's all the cards in the deck. Oh no, there's also a reclamation, because when you're milling cards over with Stitcher Supplier, and the boom, you can return things. Powerful. 1 Badlands in case we ever want to cast Awaken the Blood Avatar. Not that I have ever cast or awakened any kind of Blood Avatar in my life, even after playing 5 matches with the deck. But we can, and that's the whole point. And then I found that sometimes after Village Writing, and you'd have these Bloodghast stuck in your hand, and you don't really know what to do. So I put a Bazaar in the deck, so we can tutor for Bazaar in case that is something that we want to do. I don't know if that's something we want to do, but it could be something we want to do. And then there's also a Pladecrafter to kill shit. And yeah, there's also a sideboard full of fun cards. But we have our match soon, I think. So, yes, we're playing against Nathan. And they got a sweet Witch deck. So it's gonna be a fun battle. It's gonna be a fun battle. Let's go to the stuff. The thing. Welcome to round 1, Mythic Society. We're playing against Nathan. Nathan has got a sweet one for it looks like an Esper now. It used to be just blue-black, but it's an Esper Witch control deck. So we're featuring Lavinia, Hull Reacher, Snapcaster Mentor, Baleful Strix, some Teferis, 4 Thoughtseize. Nathan seems really big on Thoughtseize. He was playing Hymn to Turok, but it doesn't look like that's still in the list once we went to Esper. 4/3 Flusterstorm, and yeah, just your typical targets here. Basically, just an Esper controlling, cantripping. Only 3 preordains actually, but 4 Thoughtseize is interesting. Esper deck, and then in the sideboard, it looks like there's 3 Ravenous Trap, 2 Tabernacle, 2 Fragmentize. Or sorry, 2 Containment Priest. It's gonna be quite the hateful sideboard. So, what do we've got? We've got a beautiful hand. Turn 1 Bloodghast, Snapkeep. I mean, this is a value hand playing up against, a controlling deck. Could be quite good. A Lotus, but no Witch follow-up. Another Witch for us. I do think that I would rather just play out the Bloodghast this turn so I can Village Rites if I miss my land drop. My opponent is not on Wastelands, so I can go get a Scrub land, which is just it's just peak magic, really. What else should you do with your Mox Jet besides cast turn 1 Bloodghast? Oh, hello, Mr. Canister. Sedgemoor Witch is the best new card in Vintage. However, the deck we're playing tonight is maybe not optimal. Would be a way to phrase it. I really think that my Grixis, Tinker, Sedgemoor Witch deck is quite good. I plan to be playing it in tournaments for this foreseeable future. It does a lot of the things that you want, like your Arcanist deck to do, but it also lets you play Tinker Citadel, which is broken. So it's no Doomsday, but not too bad. What do we got? All right, so we missed out on a land. Let's attack, Thoughtseize them, and then cast Village Rites, maybe? Seems like a pretty reasonable line. Thoughtseize you with my beautiful old border Thoughtseize. Opponent says, no, fuck you. Okay, fair. You are not allowed to see my hand. 3 cards left in opponent's hand. Did they fetch with this Brainstorm? Doesn't look like it. That's not good. That's not bad for me. Well, I think casting Village Rites is better than playing like Stitcher Supplier. We'll find out, I guess. It's just a draw 2. What's the worst that could happen? No. Let me play spells. All right. Well, we don't have that many spells that get flustered, but those were 2 of them. All right. So next turn, hopefully we play a land and cast a witch, because if not, we're not doing very much. Witch does bring back a Bloodghast, which is nice. But I think we're going to just get blued here. Looks like my opponent will draw a bunch of Cads, and then we lose probably. I didn't really check to see if I was playing enough mana in my deck, so that could be problematic. Theoretically, with 4 Street Wraith and 4 Village Rites and a pretty low curve in general, I think it looked fine on first glance, but we'll see as the night goes on, I guess. We do play a lot of 3-drops, so maybe I should have had more lands. My opponent is going off, I think. So this is a kind of an annoying card against us. Unfortunately, very good against Hogak, which is kind of what I wanted to do here with my Stitcher Supplier and Bazaar of Baghdad. Maybe I can hit some more Bloodghasts. I did. Value. What else could we draw if we were to activate this? We could draw not much. It's like there's not that many good cards in the deck. The best thing we could really do is find lands, I guess. And I guess we could maybe find like a Cabal Therapy this turn. Well, then. Okay. Value. Those cards would be pretty good if my opponent hadn't played Lavinia. Could cast some switches. I mean, the first half of Therapy is very castable, so. All right, what do we got? Another Supplier. Hack. Everything at Teferi. All I want to do is hit a land drop and play Witches. Can I please hit a land drop? Please? No, this card's not castable. Or, I mean, it's castable, but it's not going to end well for us. Supplier, not really good when I can't play a Hogak. And I guess I'd rather have an Archon and a Witch. Less than ideal. Less than ideal for sure. We have been through 19 cards and we found 1 mana producing land. Which is, again, not great. Ah, Thoughtseize. Well, helps our clock out. All right, no witches. Is that all of our? That's all of our witches. Noted. Just want to play Land Emiria. That'd be really good here. Beautiful. All right. So first, these Bloodghast get in there. Hogak will get countered because I will have paid no mana. Yep, the other line of text on Lavinia. All right, so my Archon got forced. Oh, let me make sure I stop at the end step and just activate the Cesar and maybe find more Bloodghasts. My opponent is down to 1 card. Oh, we lost a Bloodghast. They're at 8 life. Seems winnable. Therapy, not great against Lavinia, again. Alright, well, I kind of would like the Village Rites, I guess. Would have been nice. Plague Crafter. Wow. That's a vintage Magic card if I've ever seen one. Ah, we have unlocked. We have unlocked Hogak. Success. Well, I have to put another creature into play, but it's not too bad when there's, Bloodghast in my yard. Hogak is in the yard. All right, so as long as I can find a land, I can get the Bloodghast back and play a Hogak. Or just attack. I'm pretty sure our deck is unbeatable. Ooh, no, I don't have 5 mana. I forgot how much mana Savine's Reclamation was. A lot of mana. All right, boom. All right, now the question becomes, am I even supposed to play Hogak or just attack? Doesn't matter. Deck's perfect. God bless. Pinnacle of deck building, if I've ever seen it. All right, so unfortunately, my opponent seems very, very geared for the matchup. They have 3 Ravenous Traps, 2 Tabernacles, 2 Containment Priest, and then 2 Swords to Plowshares. Okay, maybe it's not that bad. All right, what do we want? Do we need a Fracture? No. We don't. Do we need any of these cards? No. Do we need Swords to Plowshares? Possibly. We possibly need Swords to Plowshares. And do we need Deafening Silence? No, I'm kind of off Deafening Silence in this matchup. All right, so if I want to play Swords to Plowshares, what do we cut? Plague Crafter? Oh, Plague Crafter looked pretty good there. Chain of Smog. And a Street Wraith. Perfect. It's okay. We only have 2 Hogaks in the deck. No. Vampiric Tutor. Perfect. Submit. It's okay. We have lands. We can pay for Tabernacle. Containment Priest is annoying against Bloodghast, for sure. But not, doesn't really stop a Hogak unless it's in the yard. Ravenous Trap can be annoying, too. But, if I don't have a Bazaar, it's hard to put 3 cards. Well, I guess Stager Supply puts 3 cards in the yard. Well, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. I think the card that worries me the most is Swords to Plowshares. I played against Deadguy today, and their opening hand had 2 Swords to Plowshares and an Arcanist, and I just could never win. But my opponent was only on 2 Swords to Plowshares. All right, so we have the classic Badlands. This hand's unfortunate, for say the least. I don't think I like this hand very much. Not the worst hand I would have ever kept, but that's not really a good metric anymore at this point. So I think we're gonna mulligan this one. I don't know. It's keepable. It's totally keepable. I'm gonna put it back. All right, this looks better. This looks better. Get rid of one of these village rights. Yeah, this is viable. Viable. Oh, right. Containment Priest is not cast, right? So you can Hogak from either side? Is that true? I forget what Containment Priest reads. Interesting. Could be anything. Okay. Priest says cast. All right, so then we're good. Therapy, Bloodghast, Archon, not a bad Stitcher supplier. Now I could Therapy right away here. But I want to use 2 Stitcher suppliers or Bloodghast to play Hogak. Now I can play. Fortunately, I can't play around Rav Trap, can we? The best way to play around Rav Trap would be at least just return this Bloodghast to start. I guess I could yeah, I think we'll just return the Bloodghast. We'll play another supplier. Well, I guess supplier does play around Rav Trap, right? Because the trigger resolves and then I have priority. Broken. I feel like this is just winning. Maybe I'm supposed to use the Therapy then. Like Therapy, Force of Will, or Swords to Plowshares. I could return this Bloodghast. Well, then I'm putting 3 cards in my yard, right? So then I'm running into Rav Trap. Because I could Therapy this Bloodghast, 1 card in the yard. 2 cards in the yard off of this. No, that still works, doesn't it? So I wonder if naming Force or naming Swords. I'm trying to look at the C1. My opponent went bottom. I think we just named Force. I guess they could have Flusterstorm. Oh, we just got their forces? There were 2 forces? Nice. I think we're just winning again. Woo! This deck, though. No, they had 3 forces. Damn. We got. Too funny. All right. I think I'm on their upkeep. I'll cast this Village Rights off of Stitcher Supplier. You know, I surprise myself sometimes. To be fair, I did 3-2 with this deck in a league, and it was a much less optimized, but that felt real good. Go Justin. Woo. Welcome to round 2 of the Mythic Society weekly event. We've got a very meta game opponent. A very meta game opponent? It's not even a thing, Justin. We have a very stock looking Ravager, aggro Ravager list here. I guess not super stock because there is a Traxos and 2 Steel Overseers, which are kind of techie, along with 3 cars and 18 lands. No, it's not 18. 4. Yeah, 18 lands. Ley lines, Mindbreak traps, Grafdigger's cages, Pithing needles, Wormcoil engines. Jeez. And a Skyship, which is also probably very good against us. Yeah, this is going to be tough. It's going to be a very tough battle. I don't think I have a huge amount of great cards against the workshop deck, so we'll see what we can do. On we go. This one does not have a land, so no keep. This one, ooh, okay, all right. Spicy. Let's keep this. We're gonna put the other witch to the bottom. And we're gonna go first. We'll cycle these street wraiths, see if we can find some spells, and then boom. I would like maybe a Thoughtseize or a Therapy would be pretty good. There's a couple good spells we can hit here. So let's take a look at what we draw. Land, which is not bad. I don't mind hitting a land. And Therapy, beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, quite good here. I will go get... I played the wrong land. So, theoretically, I should probably play Bloodstained Mire here and get a Swamp, and then use March Flats to get a Plains. So, that was slight missequencing, which, you know, could cost us. But there's not that many white cards in the deck. Fetching double Swamp is not the biggest deal. But we definitely want to get a Swamp to play around Wasteland. All right, so now we get to Therapy and trigger our Witch and then flashback, a very classic Young Pyromancer line. The question does become, what the hell are we naming? What are we naming against a 7-card Shop's Hand on the draw? Do we name Sphere, but can we also just beat Sphere? Sphere is obviously one of the 4-ofs in the deck, but we could also name things like Phyrexian Revoker, Walking Ballista, Foundry Inspector, Chief of the Foundry, Arcbound Ravager. I think any of the 4-ofs, Walking Ballista, are a good choice. So I am inclined to name Ravager or Ballista, and then if they have a Sphere hand that looks problematic, our second Cabal Therapy could go for Sphere. So I'm going to start with Ravager. That does seem problematic to me. And then we'll go on from there. How many Ravagers are there? What the day I learned. All right. And I have an Arcbound Ravager, please. So we missed on Arcbound Ravager, but there is also... Jeez. Ancient Tomb, Sphere of Resistance, Walking Ballista, Thorn... Interesting. All right, so I don't think I'm going to name Sphere or Thorn because their mana isn't really set up for them to do too much with that. So I'm going to just name Walking Ballista. Could also name Steel Overseer, and that doesn't really give them any good turn 1 plays. Actually, as much as I was laughing at Steel Overseer before, Ballista here does not look that imposing, just because opponent doesn't have if opponent draws Workshop off the top, we probably just lose. But I think if we just take Overseer, they have no good turn 1 play. If they play I guess they would play a Thorn, which is fairly annoying, but not huge deal. And they would also take 2 damage to do so. Yeah, I like the idea of taking Overseer. I definitely wish I had hit Ballista, though. Would have been really nice. All right, use this pest, gain a life, get a new pest. And name Steel Overseer. Very modern. I guess it's not really modern anymore, but all right. So Steel Overseer's out, and we're passing the turn back. Supplier hitting Gak would be probably a game-winning play, which is a nice thing to think about as well. So my opponent has Ancient Tomb Sphere, Ancient Tomb Thorn, or Ancient Tomb Walking Ballista, plus one unknown card. I think it makes the most sense for them to go, saying the other card is not good, go Ancient Tomb Thorn. They just went Sphere. Wow. Ancient Tomb Sphere. Sphere is going to hamper them, so I'm surprised that they chose that line. Village Rites. Okay. Go get the other swamp and just get a Steel Overseer in here. I think it's better than playing a Village Rites right away. And I'm going to do this pre-combat just in case I hit a Gak. Didn't hit a Gak. I did hit a Bloodghast. So if the Sphere had been a Thorn, we would have actually gotten the Bloodghast back by going Supplier into Fetchland, which is interesting. So next turn, depending on what happens, maybe we can sack the Supplier to Village Rites, get a land, get a Bloodghast back. Seems pretty playable. I assume my opponent, well, I would have said my opponent would go Factory Chief here, but they can't even play Chief because they chose to play, well, that's still really dicey for them. They drew the Mana Crypt, which is good because now they can play their spells, but they also took 2 damage here and Mana Crypt flipped every turn. I assume they're going to play this 2-3 as it helps block on this board, but this card is unblockable. Hashtag Venice. So things are getting dicey for the opponent here. I drew a land already. Interesting. So what I think I'm going to do is attack all, and then the one they block, I will Village Rites? No, because then I feel like they're going to block this Pest. And it makes a lot more sense to Village Rites the Supplier. I guess I'm going to get a Pest no matter what. And I'm going to get a Bloodghast no matter what. So I can still attack all, and then just still Village Rites the Supplier after. And the 1 damage could matter. Yeah, I think this makes sense to me. If they block the Supplier, I will just Village Rites the Supplier. This is unblockable. You can't block this. Okay, sure. And then I'm going to Village Rites the Stitcher Supplier. That's going to give me a Pest and mill 3 cards. Hits a Hogak and a Bloodghast. Bring back my Bloodghast. Oh my, this deck is so sweet. Oh, this deck is so sweet. Yes. That is beautiful. You just love to see it. All right, so post board, my opponent has 4 Leyline of the Void, 2 Cages, 2 Needles, 2 Worm Coil, a Mental Misstep, and a Sky Sovereign. So I expect my opponent to bring in about 1 million Magic the Gathering cards. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in Swords, Fractures, and Gate to Phyrexia, a classic vintage staple. Gate to Phyrexia. And then I'm going to take the Strip Mine as well. And what I think I'm going to do is Thoughtseize on the draw goes out. Bazaar go out. Savine's fine. Misstep out. Chain of Smog. Maybe out on the draw. But on the play, could be possible. Could be just very good in this matchup. Plague Crafter. Probably not super good against the all creature deck. Maybe the Smog is just fine, and I want to just like cut Vamp Therapy. Yeah, I have cast Natural Smog. It was fine. I think this is what I want to do. It's a little awkward, but I think this works. Oh, I just think it's actually pretty good in this deck because of the Bloodghasts and the Pests and all of those. I think the card actually just like kind of has a lot of synergy with what's going on in my deck. Obviously, there's like decent white artifact removal, but I mean, this hand's great. It's got lands and I guess it would be really great if I had a Lotus, but or just some Moxen would be nice. I mean, I'm gonna keep this hand. Definitely gonna keep a bunch of lands, Mentor, Witch, Maria, Leyline. This is kind of what I'm banking on. My opponent to go heavily into anti graveyard and then just smack them with my fair cards. I think this hand's perfectly acceptable. What am I talking about? Like if my opponent kept a great 7 from Ravager, maybe it'd be bad, but okay. That is kind of problematic as I'm a little bit too slow. That's pretty good though. I don't know. I actually think this hand's like super fine. Obviously, if my opponent had a really strong start, it would be a little slow, but sure. Oh, okay. Well, that's all my opponent's cards. Um, that's fine. Swords that shit. Take 1, go to 13. My opponent can pump, so I definitely want to play. That's not a very good draw. I guess I can just play Archon. It's just a little too slow. I'm gonna probably have to draw another Swords to Plowshares off the top. Even then, it might just not be enough. The double Inspector was rough. A pump, I guess? I'll snap block that thing. 3, 6, 6, 8, 10, 2. I don't think I'm gonna have. I need to draw swords. If I have Mentor or Witch plus swords here, that might be good enough. So I'm gonna take 10. And I'll have. Yeah, I need 3 blockers. So I need to draw a 1-drop creature or a spell. Oh, but my Archon's going to prevent me from casting my sorceries. So it probably has to be swords. Can't be therapy. Yeah, Street Wraith not gonna. Whoa, wait! I have Strip Mine. I have Strip Mine, so I can Strip Mine that. Wait, we're good. We're good. We're good. Would I rather my Witch or my Mentor died? I guess I would rather my Mentor died because the Witch pests gain life. True. And it lets me play Hogak, theoretically? I don't really care about stopping them from 1 mana, so I'm just gonna kill this. Alright. Why? I'm the one who made that deck popular, Slasher, so why would we name it Slasher Shops? Which would be better against Chief of the Foundry, but I think we would just lose to Chief of the Foundry, so. Alright, we stabilized at 2. I don't know why we're naming my deck after you. It's a great draw. Alright, well, this could be a win. I do die to a Ballista off the top, or a car. I do die to a car. That is unfortunate. Man, unfortunate. I thought we actually stabilized there, but it was not enough. Not enough. Do I want to bring in Thoughtseize on the play? Probably this probe. I don't know. I don't really know if I like Thoughtseize at all. Not really sold. Maybe I could like this Savine's is terrible, and I can just go Thoughtseize. Yeah, it's fine. All right. All right, on the play versus Shops, we've got the classic 3 white spells Swamp Jet hand. Can't have that one. No, this one's more playable. It's still not fantastic, but I think we have to vibe with it. Leyline of the Void, yeah. I'm okay with every time my opponent reveals a Leyline, I'm fine. I just wish we had fast mana, but there really wasn't a way to play more fast mana in the deck. Every time my opponent plays Leyline, I'm pretty happy with it. Doesn't really do anything versus me. What is this? The 3-ball? That'd be very bad. Not very bad, but it wouldn't be great. What's the play, friend? Pretty sure I'm just killing any creature you play here. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, sure. That's unfortunate. That is certainly annoying. It's certainly annoying. Classic restricted artifacts. Yeah, this could go badly now. Doesn't stop gate. No. I also have fractures in my deck, so I can kill it. But I'm worried about... Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. Unlucky. Unlucky. Alright, if I draw Fracture, we might be okay. But it's gonna be rough. Chalice. Strip Mine tapped. They would have the Strip Mine versus my 3 basics, too. This is just an unfortunate way for my spells to line up. I think I have to draw Fracture this turn. This is so unlucky. Bad. If I had at least drawn a land, I could at least play a 2/4 double striker. Yeah, I mean, it's just you know, shops can sometimes draw their restricted cards. It's not even like I'm dead to Chalice on one. I have 3 outs in my deck to Chalice on one, but I just didn't draw them, and they drew theirs. So, sometimes it do be like that. Just another worm coil or a ballista or something. Yeah, I thought we were pretty far ahead in that game, but obviously this Chalice on one was game over when we drew 3 1-drops afterwards. Yep, unfortunate. Okay, chat, here we are, round 3 of the Mythic Society Weekly. We are up against James. James is playing, well, you've probably seen this one before. It's the Grixis Tinker Witch deck. Bolus's School for Witchcraft and Wizardry. I don't know. I'm not that clever, but I just like to think I am. All right, so I get 2 draws to find a land along with a Thoughtseize. I'm gonna keep this hand. Okay. Uh-oh. Please don't tinker me. Red. Ooh. Pretty good one. Not a great draw. That's a good one, though. Yeah, I think Thoughtseize is good. It'll prevent us from getting double Ancestraled. Black Lotus Sedgemoor Witch? Why didn't we jam that on turn 1? Huh? Yeah, opponent should definitely have just jammed Black Lotus Witch on turn 1, and I would probably not be able to beat it. But they didn't, so we're gonna take Witch, and then we're gonna therapy Time Walk, and then we might have a battle on our hands. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind not going Black Lotus Witch is in an open decklist formatting. I don't think there is one. Ah, man, I don't know. These Cabal therapies have looked quite good. We do need to still draw a land. If we can draw a land, we can Plague Crafter this Dreadhorde Arcanist, and then we're going to be in good shape. Lightning Bolt me? Ow. That's aggressive. I'm at 9, 8. I'm at 8. Land? Bad day. All right. Maybe I really have this sinking feeling that no, they don't. They have a Black Lotus as their only other card because they played a Box Pearl. I have a sinking feeling that we just do not have enough lands in our deck. Hopefully they don't draw another bolt or we're dead. All right, they have 1 unknown. They're still not flashing anything back. Land? Ah, yes. These street races have been so bad. Actually, we're getting pretty close to GAC, though. Land? Please? This is sad. Because I do think if we hit a land on either of our turns 2 and 3, we would be running away with this game. I guess my opponent also has a Mana Crypt in play, so there's some possibilities there. Yes, I agree. I would love a Deathray Shaman right now. Now they have 2 cards in hand, which they can't cast, which has to be forces. Beautiful. Hit a land drop. All right, so I'm going to go to 3, and I'm going to cast... I guess I should have therapied. I guess I can still therapy. That was a little bit of a mistake. All right, Force of Will is what I'm going to name here. If they have Lightning Bolt, we are just dead. Ah, hit Force of Will. Beautiful. All right, Flusterstorm is no good, though. So what I'm going to do is crack and... Scrubland. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Plague Crafter. And I could go Sedgemoor Witch and play Hogak. But the problem with that is if they draw... Oh, maybe that's just better because it's going to present lethal. They just have to... I just want to hope they don't draw a cantrip that they flash back. Yeah, maybe that is better. I have 5 cards in my yard. Yeah, all right, let's do that. I think Hogak looks better here. I mean, look, this is how far... Like, we were really, really far ahead if we had hit a land earlier, but it's going to be a close one now. They just need to hit Lightning Bolt or, cantrips into Lightning Bolt. They have a bunch of looks here. They have all the mana they could ever want, but if they miss, they do die. They missed. All right, we actually snuck that one. I think opponent's line was fairly aggressive, and if they had just played Black Lotus Witch, I don't think we would have been able to contest. But they didn't, so... Oh, I should have made them sack it. What the fuck am I doing? All right, well, I could still lose now. I just looked through it. Oh, wait, no. Actually, no, this is trample. Never mind. So this would have been 5 damage. 8. Okay, it was 8 damage either way. All right. Never mind. But if I did need to get rid of it, I could have just played Crafter. All right, so it's my own deck. What do I want? I want Swords to Plowshares. Do I want Deafening Silence? No. Not really. Yeah, I had Unblockable on one creature and Trample on the other. Chain. Wants Chain, Reclamation, and Plaguecrafter looks fine there. So I didn't mind just because we want to play more land. The problem with mine is it just doesn't cast things. It technically is another land, but it doesn't cast like any of these. It does cast all of these, which is nice. I mean, maybe it's better than a Street Wraith, because the Street Wraiths just look abysmal. I got a Vamp. All right, let's try this. We might want Deafening Silence. Possible. I don't think it sounds super good, though. I mean, like, these are the hands I'm pretty sure we're supposed to keep, but they are a little bit on the weaker side of things here. Pretty dependent on village rights resolving, isn't it? Goes not to shuffle. Maybe I am supposed to bring in Deafening Silence because my opponent's on a Tinker deck. That could be the true. I mean, but I kind of want them on the on the play, not on the draw as much. This card's great. A really cool card. Ooh, I hit Bloodgast Street Wraith Therapy. The problem is, I definitely am not allowed to cast this therapy, as I will no longer have a village rights. And I'm just too scared of not drawing a land, I think. So hopefully we don't get tinkered. Which? Oh, Demonic Ancestral. It's a good one. Yep. Okay. All right. Okay. I guess maybe we do want Deafening Silence. I've kind of come around. Oh, I hit the land anyways. Interesting. So, are we still village rightsing? We have therapy as well. We can do both. But we could therapy first and target force. And milled 3 mana sources, including a jet. They have Sedgemoor Witch, Opposition Agent, Lightning Bolt, Flusterstorm, Merchant Scroll. That is bad. It is bad. But I do think that I want to cash in a village rights now while I can't get flustered. Another Stitcher Supplier. Lost Swords to Plowshares and 2 more mana sources. All right, this looks very bad for me. This looks very, very bad for me. I just don't think I'm going to be able to contend with how good Ancestral was here. Yeah, which makes sense. Hold open Lightning Bolt and Fluster. I really needed to resolve like a rights probably to find lands, which is not going to happen because of Fluster. Probe. I mean, maybe I'll get a misstep or something, or a fluster. I don't know. It just looks very challenging. I just can't hit land drops. I did mill over 1, 2, 3, 4 and a jet. So it's kind of just a little unfortunate, but I mean, I just don't feel like this village right is going to resolve. It's going to be very bad for me. Where'd this Force of Will come from? When did they reveal a Force of Will? Didn't I name Force of Will? Oh, they drew it for turn. Yeah, we're fucked. I'm gonna mill 3 lands. You know that, right? I did mill 2 lands and a Bloodghast, which is nice. That resolves? And I didn't draw any lands? All right. Yeah. Hogak is like it? No Hogak. All right. Well, I don't know. I just why I didn't cast Thoughtseize. I didn't really want to get it flustered and have them get a million pests. I don't know what I'm gonna do about this game. By the time that I finally get a third land, it's gonna be a fetch land, and they're gonna opposition agent me, you know? Oh, just another witch. That's bad. I think yeah. It's a sad day, really. Strip mine. Hey, who told me to board in the strip mine? Big points for them. Jesus. Big points for board and strip mine plan. Good God. Is it enough, though? They have an active force of will. Cluster. Doesn't look like it. Bloodghast, not exactly great against pests. So I guess what we have to do is jam an Archon. And then they force it. I guess I could just bolt it. Shit. Guess we'll play a witch then? I think this Ancestral was just too much. I don't know. It would have been kind of an interesting game if we had hit the land drops, I think, because, maybe not. We only missed, what, one turn? And they still had, and the turn that they had Lightning Bolt Force, so probably not. It was just too much with the Ancestral. Ancestral's a good card, chat. Put it in your decks. Yeah, it's not good for the home team. Why not attack? What does attacking do? Possibly gets me to Hogak. Think I would rather block. I guess I can't block these because they're unblockable. What is this getting? There's nothing left in the deck to get. Gush? Oh, Gush is very bad for me. Kind of want to scoop. Even if, like, we have a Hogak, are we really beating this? Oh, they just got a second force. All right, I'm just off it. I'm off it, chat. They're having too much fun. We got to get out of here. It's too much. It's too much. Is Deafening Silence actually good against my opponent, though? I really don't think it is. Really just don't think Deafening Silence is good. We have Archon. Archon's great. Just resubmit. I wish we could activate. I wish we could trigger one Magecraft from Extus because I still have just not done that. I don't know. I kept this hand earlier in the day, and I'm just kind of off it. Give me a 1-drop. Now I'm with no. Not what I want. Why couldn't there just be a land in this hand? It would be so good. Just Lotus Witch therapy. Yeah, we did also conclude that the deck needs Deathrite Shamans. At that point, you're just playing Hogak, though, so is it really super interesting? I have to mulligan this. We could even play turn 1 Extus. Probably wouldn't do that, but... What the f... Would it? I don't know. Maybe it would be. It's weird because I felt like the games where all the things came together were pretty close, but the other games just do not feel close at all. You know? At least my opponent boarded in Rav Trap. That's good for us. Fortunately, Force Narset Tinker is probably not beatable either. So. I think if we had Deathrite Shamans, everything would be a lot better. You think that would be true? No, they found the Sapphire? No! They topped. Yikes. So I have to just strip mine or I'm gonna get tinkered. It's not gonna work. Keeping them off of lands is just not going to work. Did mold a 4, so it's be expected. Jesus, no. I'm already dead. I'm already dead. Stop it. No. No. Here we are in the final round of the Mythic Society Weekly, and we're playing against Rodney. Rodney is on, well, my Witch deck. A very straightforward version of the Witch deck. I think the only changes are additional Pyroblasts, less Lightning Bolts, less Switches. This hand looks reasonable. This hand looks very reasonable. Let's do it. I wanted to bring back Street Wraiths with the with the with the Extus. It seemed like value. Also, it's an additional card for my Hogax in my yard. I can thin the deck. Yeah, it just seemed good. It hasn't ended up being good. I acknowledge that. Well, the nice part about Savine's Reclamation is that if I mill over a Savine's Reclamation um with my Bazaar or my Stitcher Supplier, then I can use its flashback. Is the deck working? That would depend on your definition of working. Somewhat. I was about to get tinkered, but I had the restricted mental misstep, and now I'm thought seizing them and taking ancestral recall. Ooh, the problem here is they still have a dread. My deck is so good. This deck is insane. My deck is so good. Even though I had the great, like a really solid misstep thought seize, and I'm just so far behind. I guess I could demonic tutor for no, it's not even gonna do it. Man, it's so sad because I think I'm just still dead. Take the Arcanist. I don't think so. Technically, chat, if I top deck Black Lotus or Plague Crafter, and my demonic somehow didn't get flustered, I could kill this. It doesn't matter what we do. We're dead. Their opening hand was not actually beatable by our deck in any capacity, which is why you should play Ancestral Recall, Force of Will in your deck and not Scrublands. They're not going to vamp Galley. They're going to cast Ancestral. Almost assuredly. They vamped. I lied. They must have a cantrip and a land? They went to they're 13. This Citadel is not 100% to kill. Okay, so they have a cantrip in their hand, and then they're going to tinker. All right, well, we're going to die. Oh, I also registered basic planes. Do not worry. That's also in the deck. All right, yeah. I mean, we just like could never beat their hand. I just 0% chance to ever beat their hand. Vanishing Verse? I don't think that card is very good. Maybe they'll go to 2 life, brick, and we'll draw Bloodghast. What about that? That would do it. The trick with my deck across the table is it's not really a great Citadel deck. It does cost a lot of life to do things. So, how is she casting a black-white spell in her Oath list? Mystical for Time Walk. They're at 1. Play it out. I guess I'm at 11 because of this Street Wraith, Mental Misstep, Thoughtseize turn 1. Maybe the key is we should just play some Death Shadows in our deck. Oh, they just put Time Walk back on top. All right, I'm done. That's good enough. Okay, let's try Deafening Silence this time. Yeah, this has gone much worse than I thought it was going to go. I didn't think it would go great, to be fair, but also I was hoping we would play against more of the mono white decks because I felt like we were pretty good against the mono white decks. But maybe we weren't even that good against mono white. It's possible it's not that was a lie too. All right, give me something to work with here. Why does this suck so much? Like, that's not keepable. Gonna keep it. 4 mana is uncastable. Well, it didn't feel uncastable when I played my games in my league and I had like 7 mana in every game. I boarded in Blightsteel, which we played around, but unfortunately... Alright, can we beat these other cards? Not really. Just like Mystical for the other team. Well, maybe they boarded out the Citadel. I don't know. It's gonna take... Oh, wait. Why did I take the stupid thing? I have 2 Swords to Plowshares in my hand. I tank. I forgot I had 2 Swords to Plowshares. Should definitely have taken Mystical Tutor. Or Force. I kind of forgot I had Swords to Plowshares in my hand. Which is not great. Because now we're gonna get tinkered with Force backup. So... Oh, well. You think they left in both targets? I guess they left in both targets. We're dead. I just misclicked, chat. I just forgot that we had swords in my hand and took the wrong card. Should have taken Mystical Tutor, but okay. That was not great. So, final thoughts on this list. Not playable. This card is quite poor. As for the rest of this, I think you're just better off playing Hogak. You probably need to play Deathrite Shaman in this list, and in which case, like, why are we doing anything? Yeah, why are we not just playing Hogak, right? Yeah, it just becomes Hogak. I don't think the white cards are so good that you want to change your deck, and I don't think that the village rights are super strong or anything. That so yeah, so just yeah, right click, delete, and if you want to cast Hogaks while playing Hogak. Anyways, thank you for watching this Mythic Society Weekly with a fun brew. Unfortunately, the brew did not do as well as it did in the league that I tested, but that is magic sometimes. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, do the thing. Help me out, grow the channel, grow Vintage. You too can help grow Vintage by clicking like, comment,